Hello everyone. In this session we are going to discuss the next topic. That's obviously in previous lecture I've covered all the concepts, all the problems. And now we're going to discuss another issue that's indirectly related to women, but it's very contemporary topic out there. And questions has been asked in the PYQ as well. In CE or GS1 paper in society, and as well as in. So the topic is the rising divorce cases that's been taking place in India. Why marriage that was considered to be as a sacred institution out there, it's no longer considered as a sacred one. It's a transactional one right now. It's a transactional one right now. So what are the issues that's been involved in this? We're going to discuss that. What are the scholarly views? I hope this all sort of perspective will help you to develop various points on this, a holistic perspective on this. You're going to use this on a essay or GS1 examination out there without any thought process, because it's an interesting topic. You will love it. You'll love about this. This is a very contemporary topic out there, and people have been talking about this issue over social media, Twitter, all on all these platforms out there. So let's discuss about these issues. Let's discuss about this issue. So as you know that there has been a rising tendency of divorce cases out there. Rising tendency of divorce cases out there that's been taking place right there. Be it West or be it what we called our Southeast Asia, there has been a rise in divorce cases. Why there has been a rise in divorce cases out there? So earlier marriage was considered to be a very sacred institution. It was considered to be as sacred, where a man was treated as a god and the woman was treated as a what called Lakshmi type, Lakshmi Ma, and all these stuff was taking place. But in these days, when there has been a lot of extramarital affairs that's been going on, when there has been a lot of rise of, I would say, adultery part that's been taking place, people have lost its faith in the institution of marriage. People have lost its faith. Let me give you a perspective of this. Earlier, marriage was a sacred institution. Marriage, sacred institution. Nowadays, this has been considered as a transactional relationship. Transactional relationship. Why it's considered as a transactional? Consider this. Why a woman wants to marry a boy? There are two perspectives of this. Either if he's earning good or in a government job out there, or he is, I would say, generationally rich, coming from an affluent family. Because woman wants to secure her future out there. Woman wants to secure her future out there. That's the reason they are marrying. That's the sole reason. Majority, not all of them, of course. We are talking in a very general sense out there. Why woman wants to marry a guy? Because if a boy is earning well, obviously they want to secure their future in the future as well. It's as simple as that. They want to secure, if a boy is coming from an affluent family out there, if a boy is earning very well out there in a corporate, or is he doing corporate government job out there, it becomes easy for a woman to choose that guy. Why a man wants to marry a woman? Soul beauty. Not all of men, but the most thing the men looks for is looks. It looks. Trophy wifing. You must have heard about the trophy wife. What's a trophy wife? It's a wife that you want to present that as a eye candy to everyone out there. You want to impress others that look, my wife is beautiful, she's hot out there. That's how the case wins. That's how the case wins. So it's a transactional relationship. That's money and looks. Money and looks. Looks for women, money for men, and intersection. That's an intersection out there. That's what a marriage is at this moment. That's what a marriage is at this moment. You must have seen that, how marriages take place. If someone got a government job, he'll get a good bride out there. If someone doesn't have a permanent job out there, he suffer to get those girls out there. Again, not even girl, even his father is looking for that. Even his father is looking for a good package out there, CTC out there. There was this famous article that came in newspaper and says that, a very sarcastic comment on this. A girl earns 5 lakh of CTC, 5 lakh CTC annual. Girl's father earn 10 lakh CTC. but they're looking for a man, or I would say a groom, which is earning 50 lakhs CTC, which is earning 50 lakhs CTC. That's exactly a market demand out there. That's exactly a market demand out there. If you look at jeevansathi.com or IITIMshadi.com, all of these stuff, this is actual representation of what's going on in the marriage market out there. What's going on in a marriage market out there. Again, now this is the issue one, because there has been unrealistic expectations out of your partner out there. That's why there's been unrealistic expectations. For example, say for example, a man is earning 50 lakh and a woman marries to that man. Later on, the man loses his job because of structural unemployment out there. Now what? Divorce happens. It just leads to a divorce because unrealistic expectations were there. Now he's not meeting that sort of standard of living for that woman. As a result, divorce will rise. As a result, divorce will rise. Divorce will rise. This is one. Another thing is, sir, why there has been a transactional relationship is a dowry matter out there. Dowry matter out there. What's a dowry matter? Because you must have known it's a social ill that's been taking place in India for long. It's a social ill that's been taking place in India for a long period of time. What? How? Because as you know that men takes family, I would say, he takes a lot of dowry from a woman out there. A lot of dowry. But in result, what's this happening? Actually, if you look at it's a transaction relationship. We're gonna take your daughter only if you're gonna give us dowry. That's not a sacred relationship out there. That's not a sacred relationship out there. It's a transactional. Dowry itself represents a transactional relationship out there. Transactional relationship out there. Now, what's another thing? What's another thing? So you must have observing the Gen Z out there. You must have observing the Gen Z out there. What's Gen Z are doing? They call love, call their attraction a love. They call their attraction a love. But sir, there has been a scholar called Talcott Parson. Scholar called Talcott Parson. Talcott Parson. He's of course a scholar, American scholar out there. He calls this love as a plastic love out there. Calls this as a plastic love. Calls this as a plastic love. What's plastic love? Of course, when you that Gen Z are being interacting so much, there have been a lot of this culture of boyfriend and girlfriend that's been going on. Relationships are extremely common out there, and when you come to metro cities out there. But is it a true love out there? Is it a true love? Not exactly. It's not a true love out there. It's a plastic love. What's a plastic love? Plastic love simply means love has been camouflaged in the form of lust. Love has been camouflaged. Camouflage in the sense hiding. Camouflaged in the form of lust. The form of lust. What does that mean? That it's a lust that's been attractive. The lust that's been attractive. Of course, you're young. The hormones are there to exploding out there. So what's going to happen? It's a lust that's been attractive, not true love. That doesn't mean a 24, 25-year guy or girl doesn't exactly know what's the true meaning of love is. So love that's been camouflaged in the form of lust is called plastic love, and that's been rising. It's going to fade away with the age as well. When you marry at 25, 26, okay, you're attracted to each other. What about at the age of 35? It's going to fade away. Women will not look like a 25-year-old woman at the age of 35. Men will not look that handsome at the age of 35. That's the reality. It's gonna fade away. It's gonna fade away. It's a very temporary phenomenon out there. It's not a very compulsory. It's not gonna sustain out there. So what will happen? Of course, it will lead to divorce. Divorce will rise again. Divorce will rise again. Divorce will rise again. That's how things works. Now what? These are things that's not gonna happen. Again, another thing is patriarchy. You can look at patriarchy. You must have seen certain movies where when women are fed up of these household chores or drudgery out there that they used to do. For example, woman wakes up, cooks food for his family, do another sort of deal with the household maids. again cook food for the lunch, then for dinner, all day long, 7 days a week, no off, no Sundays. That's involved a treasury out there. Again, it's a part of unrealistic expectations. You're not getting that satisfaction or expectation, or your expectation not fulfilling by these in-laws. It's a result. Again, women are looking for the identity out there. Women are looking for identity out there, and when their identity got lost in these household chores, divorce rates increasing. Women are looking for their identity out there. Women are looking for identity out there. The identity has been lost because of these household chores or drudgery work that's been going on around the corner. Consider this example. We have discussed yesterday that okay, something is going on with the woman. Something is going on. When you engage women in a drudgery activity that doesn't yield too much of output out there, it's gonna pay I would say negative consequences out there. Why, sir? So because when you talk about an educated woman, if you just involve her in a household chores, how is she gonna sustain? That will be a drudgery out there for her. She's not gonna sustain out for very long term, and that's been shown in the movies as well. There has been a movie called I think Kitchen something or called in South India, and that a fantastic movie out there. You must watch that, because again, why would she involve herself in a household chores when she can do a productive work out there in the economy? That's a typical problem out there for women, and that's been one of the major cases that's been raising divorce cases in North India, especially in North India, because woman has been treated as a what caregiving person, has been treated as a caregiving person. You are there, don't worry about the expenses. Men will earn that. Men will earn a good amount of money. You just care about the family out there. Just look after the kids. Just look after the parents. And that's again, it's losing identity for the woman out there, especially for an educated woman who can work out there in the economy quite comfortably, quite comfortably. So that's been the case. That's again raising the divorce cases out there. That's causing the divorce cases out there. Okay. So of course they are poor, looking for identity, and how can they get identity? By working in the economy, which again most of the in-laws doesn't allow, as they are from conservative family, by working in open economy, by working in that's these are the cases. What else are the cases, sir? Of course there have been certain very generous cases. That's been extramarital affairs. Extramarital affairs. So there has been a very good perspective about extramarital affairs out there. One of the scholars said that extramarital affairs actually help to sustain, I would say, a marriage. What was his perspective? His perspective was, okay, look, marriage gonna suffer. Again, it's a very temporary phenomenon. Love is a very temporary phenomenon. It's gonna fade out with the time as well. So what is the one thing that helps you to sustain that marriage? It's an extramarital affair out there. Because when you are sexually fulfilled outside your marriage, you're not going to break that marriage. When you're sexually fulfilled outside the marriage, you're getting intimacy outside of the marriage. You're not going to, I would say, take a divorce from this. And that is actually true. If you have seen that House of Cards series on Netflix, House of Card, House of Card, there's this couple. And trust me, it's one of the most exciting couples out there. It's a Francis and his wife, something called, and both of them know about their extramarital affairs. They're still very loyal to each other. Both of them know that they have an extramarital affair outside the marriage of his marriage institution as well. But both of them are loyal to each other, and they both help to sustain this marriage, and both help to uplift their careers as well. Very competent couple out there, always an opportunistic couple out there looking for certain rise in political system out there. It's a fantastic series, and that truly shows this perspective that to some extent extramarital affairs help sustain marriage in a long term. Again, this sounds very odd because we have seen that extramarital leads to divorce cases. No, certain amount of cases, especially when a families coming from an affluent background, it helps to sustain marriage, helps to sustain long term. I hope you got this point. Hope you got these points. I hope you got these points. Another issue that comes with a love marriage or any sort of marriage is the tussle between a love and an arranged marriage. Tussle between a love versus arranged marriage. Tussle between a love and an arranged marriage. Again, there has been a conservative families out there, and a lot of conservative families doesn't allow or doesn't approve that sort of love marriage out there. Instead, they prefer a arranged marriage, a marriage that's been associated with the links and connections and works out there within the caste system as well, or all these within inter-religion or intra-religion, sorry, intra-religion and intra-caste, all these marriage stuff are taking. But will it lead to arranged marriage? Will it lead to any sort of satisfaction? No, no, sir. It is not leading to any sort of satisfaction. Again, it is leading to a lot of crimes out there. You must have heard that Raghuvanshi case out there. Crimes out there. Raghuvanshi case is a perfect example of that. When you doesn't approve love marriage or doesn't listen to your wards, son and daughter, whether they want a love marriage, whether they have someone special in their life, and you just carry out with your own notions that okay, arranged marriage is better, it's gonna lead to a strong meritorious relationship between the two communities out there, it's gonna lead to a lot of crimes. Because again, they are not satisfied with their marriage, they doesn't love a person they married with. What's the future of that? Nothing. Nothing. Zero. Absolute zero. It's not even a zero, it's gonna be in negative because a lot of crimes are taking place. And men are bearing the brunt of that. Even to some extent women, but yeah, men are majorly bearing the brunt of that. Okay, so all these stuffs are leading to rise in divorce cases. Rise in divorce cases. Again, the another stuff that's been a lot of there in the news out there. Even Supreme Court has been very interested to hear this course. It's called marital rape. Called marital rape. The marital rape, it's a very complex topic out there. It's a very complex topic out there because by the definition of marriage, it's the accessibility. To some extent, by the definition, a woman becomes accessible to a man in a marriage situationship. Intimacy, it's not a problem. But when you obviously force on a woman out there for the sexual relationship out there, it's considered to be a marital rape out there. It's considered to be a marital rape. And it's been a severe issue. A lot of women are facing that. A lot of women are facing that. Even movie shows that, even a lot of series shows that. You must have seen Bhag Milka Bhag. A scene was there where a woman was, I would say, brutally raped by his men or his husband without her consent, and that's lead to a marital rape. It's, trust me, it's a living hell for a woman. It's a living hell for a woman. Living hell for a woman out there. Living hell for a woman out there. Again, one of the causes for rising divorce cases. One of the causes for rising divorce cases out there. So all these stuff are increasing the discontent within the system of marriage, and that's leading to a rise in divorce cases. And that's leading to a rise in divorce cases out there. That's pathetic out there. Again, the another thing, especially with Gen Zs, is a delay in marriage as well. For Gen Z is delay in marriage prospects. Delay marriage prospect. Delay in marriage prospects. Again, Gen Z are delaying that. Earlier, it was that people used to marry at the age of 23, 24, 25. Now it's been not this. Even within my circle as well, or my seniors as well, no one is marrying below 30. They want to reach at a certain amount of height in their careers. They want to take time before taking that important responsibility out there. So there has been a delay in marriage, especially among the Gen Z and the late millennials out there. Why? Because they don't want to take responsibility. It's hectic for them. Life has been too much. I would say the life is tough for everyone. Life is tough for everyone. It's not easy cake for everyone. Not no one gets an easy path out there if we don't have a generational wealth. That's a out and out reality out there. So it's a tough. You want to make a career. You want to take time. You want to settle down before engaging yourself in an important institution like. There has been a delay in marriage. There has been a delay. Delay in marriage too often leads to delay or complicated delay or complicated pregnancy because of age. Complicated pregnancy. This complicated pregnancy sometimes lead to abortion or all these stuffs, feticide and all these stuff. Again, that's one of the major important things about marriage is you want to get your hair. You want to आपको अपना खानदान बढ़ाना है. You want to legalize your hair out there. But what if you don't get a son and a daughter at a right age? Again, a frustrating system out there, and a lot of pairs are getting divorced because they are not getting the words out there, not getting the son and daughter because of age factor. IVF has been there, but not everyone can afford that. Not everyone can afford that, and that's how things work. This is again a case where divorce rates have been high. Divorce rates. So I hope you got this perspective, you got the main perspective out there that this has been increasing divorce rates all around the corner, And there has been certain thing as well. For example, take an example as well. Two people get into the institution of marriage, men, female. Both at that moment was earning 50,000 per month. 50,000 per month. After marriage, this female becomes, or take example, got an increment out there and was earning 1 lakh. But he was still in 50,000. Possibility is she will take a divorce from. Why? Because she's not getting a representative or equalative member for his 1 lakh salary. He's earning less, she's earning more. She has a better standard of living. She wants a better husband out there in terms of finances. She has a better choices out there to make. She's not gonna stay with that man. That's a present generation. Talking about the present generation out there. Take an example, vice versa. Men, female, both again start with 50,000. Enter the institution of marriage. Okay. His increment, he got a better chances out there. Career progress fast. Move to 1 lakh per month. He's still on 50,000. There are better chances he will not take a divorce from her because men don't look for alternatives. Men probably look for more comfort out there. More comfort. He's comfortable. If he's comfortable with her, he will not break up with her. That's how thing works. Look for comfort out there. Again, one of the major trends that's been going on, that's the main reason for divorces is alimony, sir. Is alimony. Must have heard over the social media as well. That's the case that's been going on. Alimony cases out. So if you look at, that's a short term benefit, that's short term route to become a successful woman out there for women out there. And I'm talking about the women who are, of course, unemployed, who doesn't have too much of great degree, but the only thing they have is looks. And of course, they are women. So due to skewed sex ratios, they're gonna get married. They will have options out there because of skewed sex ratio out there. But a lot of women are marrying those successful men because they want to take alimony in the later stages. That's a shortcut for them. And of course, it's not a bad thing for society as well. Not a bad thing. It's actually a loophole in the legal system. While legal system is approving that, that's a bigger problem out there. In spite of giving all these sort of negatives to women, legal system should be improved. Deal with this matter effectively out there. So again, alimony, it's a shortcut method for women to gain success, to get all that sort of money which she can't even get through a proper job out there. So I hope you got these points. Let's go on to the people. Sir, again, eroding foundation, plastic love and transactional relationship. Plastic love, social media love is there. Social media, you get into someone love through social media chats. That's most idiotic thing you can do out there. Social media and dating apps promote idealized, superficial connections. There's another thing, sir. There's another thing. Right at the start of marriage, when two of these men and women are dating each, they present the perfect picture out there. They present the perfect picture out there. That's called dramaturgy philosophy of Goffman. Dramaturgy philosophy of Goffman. Dramaturgy. Philosophy of Goffman. He says, what he says, listen, everyone is an actor. Everyone is an actor, want to present his best side out there. That's how thing works. When you go out on a date, you present yourself a best out there. When you go out with your mother, you behave differently. When you go out with your father, you behave differently. When you go out with your friends, you behave differently. All in all, you are acting out there. Act differently as per the circumstances, as per the situation out there. Act differently. That's how thing works. That's how actually thing works out there. So, of course, social media, it's present itself as a perfect match out there. It's presenting itself as a perfect combination. That's not going to sustain. It's just a temporary phenomenon out. And of course, it's all hawks. It's all hawks. Take. Again, transactional nature. Marriage is increasingly viewed as a utility. Woman only gonna marry men when she's getting that net security of money. Men is marrying a woman because he wants some trophy wife out there to increase his social status. It is often for financial or social gain. This leads lack of emotional depth. There is no emotional depth. There's only attraction out there that's been camouflaged as love. Lust has been camouflaged as love. Lust has been camouflaged as love. That's how thing works. That's how thing works. Unmet expectations. When perceived benefits aren't met, commitment falters. Of course, commitment's not gonna fail because you met certain person on social media out there. What are you gonna expect that? That's a fake identity out there. Social media is a hoax. If you meet someone on an online social media site or dating sites out there, on that moment, he's gonna present itself as a perfect candidate for you. He's gonna present yourself. He'll act as a perfect person for you, but only for a temporary period out there. Only for a temporary period out there. In a long run, you'll get to know the real face of that person. In the long run, you get to know the real face of that. That's where the problem are. Don't just get affected by this social media. It's a hawk's place out there. It's out there. Okay. Let's go on to the next slide. Again, woman ambition is one of the another criteria we have discussed about this, why there has been a rise in divorce cases all around the world. Increase education, career opportunities, reduce reliance, growing aspirations. Now, women just don't have to face that all brunt of their loss. She doesn't have to involve herself in the household chores out there. She doesn't have to listen to his pati Parmeshwar out there. Because women, there has been a higher education for women. There has been a better career opportunity out there. Why would she listen to someone else if she can sustain herself financially? Not gonna bend in front of his in-laws, or that's one of the cases that there has been a rise of divorce cases because individualism has been there. Financial freedom has been. That's again one of the factors that's been contributing to rise in divorce cases out there. That's been contributing to the rise of divorce cases. I hope you got these. Hope you got these points. Let's see some of the factors out there. Women higher education enrollment reached 32.3 million out in 2020. 32.3 million. That's around 3. This empowers them with knowledge. Career opportunities. Female labor force participation has risen to 25.4%. There are better career opportunities for female out there. There has been a breakage in the glass ceiling that we have discussed yesterday. Breakage. The glass ceiling. Is in the glass ceiling. Reduce reliance. Earlier, women used to be was particularly very dependent on their counterparts or conjugal partners called men, their husband, for financial activities. to get the certain amount of money from their husband out there, but now they're financially not reliant on their husband out there. They're free to do anything out of there. They have choices. Possible is they have choices out there. Growing aspirations, of course, there has been increasing aspiration, shared responsibility. They want a better partner out there. If her partner is not meeting her expectations, if her partner is not growing in her career, she has a better opportunity to leave him and, of course, marry someone else out there, because there has been a choice with the woman. They are earning better, they're educated out there, they have choices, they are not restricted by their in-laws, they're not restricted by their father and mother as well. They're just gonna do what it is. That's called individualism. That's been imported from West. One of the qualities that India bravely imported from West is individualism. There has been a hyper individualism out there. Community sense or family sense has been eroding out day by day, eroding day by day. The family system has been eroding by day, because there has been a nuclear families out there. What you gonna help? You can't teach your children out there or a future generation out there what's the community. Everyone wants a me time out there. That's hyper individual. Is hyper individualism out there. That's we have imported from the US. Hope you got these points. I hope you got these points. So there has been this Rick and Morty show that is an animated show, and Rick again is a scientist out there. He gives a very interesting sociological perspective of in every issue out there. He doesn't care about anything. So he doesn't get emotionally connected with his grandson or granddaughter out there. He said something like, marriage is a funeral with cake. Once you will marry, you're gonna love marriage for first 3 months or 4 months, but with time, it's gonna fade away. It will feel as a burden out there. It will feel as a burden out there, and that's true in some sense as well, because there has been a rising cost of raising a child. Economics book by Steven D. Levitt says that there has been a rise in the cost of raising a child. If you look at the fees of a nursery and a KG out there, it's been in lakhs. It's been in lakhs. Trust me, your income will increase by arithmetic progression, but your expenditure and standard of living will increase by geometric progression. Out there. So that's how thing works. That's how thing works, because it's not sustainable to get married. It's just not sustainable. What if a man marries a woman and she doesn't respect his parents? I mean, as a son, we all are very attached to our parents. We want to do well in our career so that we can make our parents proud out there. But what if a woman doesn't respect her parents? She wants to live in a separate apartment out there. It will take a toll on someone's body. It will take a toll on men's life out there. So why would you want to marry out there if it's not reaping any sort of benefit out there? Only for that to increase your khandan perspective, ki khandan badhana. That's not going to sustain a marriage for a very long period. That's the harsh reality out there, right? GFs and BFs, it's just a modern trend out there. Trust me, it is a waste of time. It is temporarily a waste of time out there. You can increase the quality of life by learning new things out there. Even your office, to some extent, your office skills. Then even if you want to engage in certain activities like sports, swimming, music, guitar, all that dance, it will increase or enrich your quality of life, not this GF and BF out there. GF and BF out there. I hope you got this point. Let's move on to the next PPT. Strains in the system. Of course, couples often experience limited personal space and autonomy. This can lead to feeling of suffocation, lack of privacy. So there has been again, it's a case of hyper individualism out there. They want certain privacy. They don't want someone to interfere in their life again and again. They don't want to want someone to check their phones as well. So that's how thing works. It's not working out there. Clash of values, interference, differing views. What if you marry someone based on social media site? Okay, for example, woman says in a social media she loves dogs, and men just try to impress that woman, also listed in a social media site that okay, I love dogs. But after marriage, he's getting irritated by the voice of dogs as well. It's good. Again, it's just a plastic thing out there. It's just a plastic thing out there. It will remain intact for first few years or first few months, I would say, but not on the later stages. It will become a burden out there. It will become a burden out there. I hope you get this point. I hope you get this point. Economic and social shift. Urbanization, rapid urbanization promotes nuclear family. Again, too much of pressure on men to leave their parents out there. That's one of the causes for rising divorce cases. Delayed marriages, again, delayed marriages leads to a complicated pregnancy. Many couples may or may not get their sons and daughters out there. That's again leads to a suffocation or frustration out there. 10% stigma listing, social stigma around divorce gradually fades. One of the another reasons that why divorce case has been on a rise is it's a better legal system, I would say. It's the less social stigma that's been attached with the divorce right now. Accessible to the lawyers, accessibility of lawyers has been increased to some extent. That's one of the cases as well. That's one of the cases as well. Again, legal access has been drastically improved. Legal access has been drastically improved. The suo moto case has been taken by various corporate firms out there, law firms out there to improve their goodwill out there. So, of course, legal access has been improved. Legal access has been improved. Legal access has been improved. Read this sentence that rapid urbanization fosters preference for nuclear families. Delayed marriages and increasing acceptance of singlehood are noticeable trends. Singlehood is very important. Nowadays, people prefer to remain single. They don't want an extra responsibility out there. They want to remain free. They want a mental peace out there. They want a mental peace. Because again, see, boss, life is tough. You need to earn. You need to take care of your parents as well. You need to look after yourself as well. All these stuffs, all these stuffs is a very hectic task. Why do you want to get into another responsibility? You can't do that if you can't maintain that. If you're struggling financially, don't marry. If you're struggling emotionally, don't marry. If you're facing any sort of mental challenges, don't marry. Keep your life simple. Otherwise, it's going to be hell out there in the long run. It's going to be hell out there. So these are the things that I want to discuss about this topic. I hope you get the new perspective of all these topics out there. It's really interesting one out there. You can use all of these points in your essay exam. You can use all of these points. Another in GS4 out there, essay, GS1, and to some extent in GS3, you will do indirectly or directly. So I hope you got these points. Thanks for this session. Have a great day.